Hi basketball family, before we get started, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications because today's story pulls back the curtain on a decision that could reshape South Carolina women's basketball for years to come. And I want to hear from you early. Drop a comment right now and tell me, did Alicia Tournebize make the best decision in women's college basketball by choosing Dawn Staley? Because when Alicia Tournebize finally spoke about why she chose Dawn Staley, the answer caught fans completely off guard. This wasn't about hype. It wasn't about facilities. And it definitely wasn't about social media. It was about trust, vision, and something deeper that most fans never see. For months, Alicia Tournebize was one of the most intriguing names floating through women's basketball circles. A 6'7" international talent from France with professional experience, rare mobility, and a ceiling that scouts couldn't stop talking about. Programs across the country were watching closely. Coaches were asking questions. Analysts were speculating. And yet, behind the scenes, Alicia was being patient. She wasn't chasing noise. She wasn't rushing a decision. She was studying people. Because leaving home, leaving a professional environment, and stepping into college basketball isn't just a basketball move, it's a life decision. And Alicia understood that better than most. When Dawn Staley entered the picture, everything changed. Not immediately. Not loudly. But intentionally. There were no flashy promises. No exaggerated sales pitch. No guarantees of minutes or spotlight. Instead, Dawn Staley did what she's always done, she told the truth. She talked about expectations. She talked about accountability. She talked about growth, not just as a player, but as a person. And that honesty is what stuck. Alicia later revealed that what separated Dawn Staley from everyone else was the way she spoke about development. Not just strength and conditioning. Not just film sessions. But mental toughness. Leadership. Responsibility. The ability to handle pressure when the lights are bright. Dawn didn't promise comfort. She promised challenge. And that's when Alicia knew. Because Alicia Tournebize didn't come to South Carolina to be hidden. She didn't come to be protected. She came to be tested. She talked about watching South Carolina games late at night from overseas. Watching how Dawn Staley coaches in real time. Watching how she holds stars and role players to the same standard. Watching how players respond, not with fear, but with trust. That mattered. Alicia said she saw something rare, a coach who empowers without enabling. A coach who demands without demeaning. A coach whose players don't just play hard, they play connected. And that connection was impossible to ignore. What fans didn't expect was this part. Alicia admitted that one of the biggest reasons she chose Dawn Staley was how much the coach talked about life after basketball. Not the WNBA hype. Not branding. But preparation. Education. Stability. For a young woman leaving her country, that conversation hit home. Dawn Staley didn't recruit Alicia like an asset. She recruited her like a responsibility. And that changed everything. When Alicia finally arrived on campus, the moment wasn't loud, but it was powerful. Teammates noticed her presence immediately. Not just her size, but her professionalism. Her calm. Her willingness to listen before speaking. That's not accidental. That's the product of someone who chose the right environment. And here's where the story gets even deeper. Alicia revealed that she wasn't just choosing Dawn Staley, she was choosing South Carolina's culture. The accountability. The sisterhood. The way players talk about each other even when cameras are off. She watched former players return. She watched how Dawn speaks about alumni. She watched how success is shared, not hoarded. That mattered more than points or rankings. And when asked about pressure, about stepping into a program with championship expectations, Alicia didn't flinch. She said pressure is a privilege. That if you're afraid of expectations, you're in the wrong place. That statement alone told fans everything they needed to know. This wasn't a project. This wasn't a gamble. This was alignment. Now, let's be clear, Alicia Tournebize isn't coming in expecting the game to slow down overnight. She understands the adjustment. The speed. The physicality. The grind of college basketball. But she also understands Dawn Staley doesn't recruit potential without purpose. There's a plan. And South Carolina fans are starting to see it. With injuries, lineup changes, and an evolving rotation, Alicia's arrival feels timely, but her commitment feels long-term. This isn't about one season. This is about becoming part of something bigger. When Alicia said she chose Dawn Staley because she tells you who you can become, not just who you are, fans felt that. That's not recruiting talk. That's belief. And belief is dangerous in the right hands. So now the question isn't whether Alicia Tournebize will contribute, it's how quickly she grows into the system. How she absorbs the culture. How Dawn Staley molds her raw tools into disciplined dominance. Because history tells us one thing clearly. When Dawn Staley gets buy-in. When a player fully trusts the process. The results speak loud. South Carolina fans didn't expect this reason. They expected hype. They expected basketball cliches. Instead, they got substance. And that might be the most exciting part of all. So now I want to hear from you. Did Alicia Tournebize choose Dawn Staley for the right reasons? Do you believe this partnership elevates South Carolina's future even further? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe for more elite women's basketball coverage, and share this video with every Gamecock fan you know. Because when players choose culture over comfort, dynasties don't fade, they reload.